A very good morning, Jai Hind, Vande Matram to all of you on YouTube. Now, today we are going to understand about resource and development. Now, right now, why I'm explaining this topic, because right now everything that is going on, that is because of resource only. Right now, if there is problem, if anywhere there is any problem, that problem is somehow related to resource. And if there is not a problem, then that is also because of resource. There might be many resources over there, so people are not worried and they are staying at home. So resources are right now playing a very key role as far as we are going through this lockdown process. Okay, so therefore I have come up with this topic, resource and development. Okay, now what is a resource? Resource is anything that can satisfy our needs and demands. Anything that can be used to satisfy our need, that is resource. Now, when we move up to the classification of resource, it becomes a bit complicated for us, but let us understand it properly. We can do it very easily if we have the proper understanding of this thing. Okay, so resource, when we move into classification or different types of resource, then there are certain criterias. Okay, there are certain criterias on the basis of which we are classifying the different types of resource. Okay, so there are four criterias: 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll explain each and every criteria to you all. Okay, so the first criteria for classification of resource is on the basis of origin. Okay, when we are classifying the resources on the basis of origin. Now this has two types. One is the biotic one, biotic and abiotic. Now, biotic resources are the resources that we are obtaining from living things, that is biotic resource. Abiotic resources are the resources that we are getting from non-living thing, that is a abiotic resource. Fine. Now, moving ahead, the next criteria is on the basis of exhaustibility. Now, on the basis of exhaustibility, again there are two resources. A is renewable resource and non-renewable resource. Okay. Now, renewable resource, we are very much familiar about these terms, and these are very important also. Renewable resources are the resources that can be replenished, that can be renewed, that are renewable resources. For example, sunlight, wind, water, these are renewable resource. Although water cannot be termed as a renewable resource completely, but then also somehow we are considering it as a renewable resource only. Non-renewable resources are the resources that cannot be replenished. Okay, that cannot be renewed, that is non-renewable resource. Now, moving ahead, the next criteria is on the basis of ownership. Okay, now on the basis of ownership, the resources can be classified into four parts: A, B, C and D. First one is individual resource. Okay, individual resource. Second one is community resource. Third one is national. And the fourth one is international. Okay, individual resources are the resources that are owned by an individual. Okay, any individual that is having any resource, that is individual resource. Community resources are the resources that are owned by community or they are for the community. Like for example, the park in your nearby area, that is what? That is a community resource. The whole community is using it. Public facilities, public toilets, that is also a community resource. Schools, they are also a community resource because they are educating the community. Okay, one student is not there, there are many students. Okay, so schools can also be termed as a community resource. Government schools are for sure a community resource only. Then comes national resource. Now national resource is the resource that is within the limits of a country. Okay, now for this we'll have to understand that what is the limit of a country. What the limit is: the land area, the total area of the country, whatever resources are there, that will be termed as a national resource. Okay, so in India the total area is 3.28 million square kilometer, and any resource that is available in this 3.28 million square kilometer, that is a national resource. Fine. Now not only the land area, but India is also surrounded from ocean from three sides. If we see, it is a peninsular country. I'll just draw a map. Okay, now India is a peninsular country. Okay, now this land area, this is 3.28 million square kilometer. Any resource that is within this area, that is also a community, that is a national resource. Okay, not this only, but into the ocean also, if you will go up to 200 nautical miles or 22 kilometers, nautical miles or 22 kilometer, that is what? That is a national resource. Okay, so any resource which is there, which is over here in the land area, and then in within this 22 kilometers of a country, that is also a national resource. Okay, so this is a national resource. Moving towards the international resource, any resource that is not within this area of any country. Not only in India, no country can claim that region that it comes under its ocean boundary or anything like that. That area can be termed as international resource. There are places like in Pacific Ocean, Antarctica. These are what? International resource, and these resources do not lie in any country's land area as well as this ocean limit that has been drawn. Okay, so this is what is international resource. Now moving ahead, the next one is on the basis of status of development. Now on the basis of level of development or status of development, there are some resources that we will discuss. Now on the basis of this, there are potential resource, developed resource, stock, and reserve. Okay, potential, developed, stock, and reserve. Now these resources are, see, let us understand what is a potential resource. Now over here, what is happening, that potential resource is somehow equivalent to the stock. These are the resources that we know there is a resource. Okay, we know there is a resource, but we don't have the desired level of technology to use it. Okay, so these can be termed as potential resource or stock. Fine. The developed resources are the resources that we are using right now. We have the desired level of technology and we know how to use this resource. So that is a developed resource. Fine. Then there are reserves. Reserve is subset of stock, wherein we know there is a resource, we have the technology also, but then also we are not using it. We are keeping it for future use. So this is what is a resource. Now this was all about resource and classification of resource. Tell me the feedback about this video and I'll come up with more information about related to this topic. I hope it was helpful to you all. Please like and subscribe the channel. Thank you.